So let me ask you, what is your strategy for managing stress? Do you have a strategy at all? Is it just some yoga, meditation type of thing, or is it walks, or is it self time? Or if it is some of these or none of these, it's time to give it a thought, because with the changing environment, working from home, and this COVID crisis not getting any more predictable than it was 2 weeks ago, stress is bound to increase. And the only thing that you need to do to be sure, the number one secret, I'm giving you the number one secret to be sure that you are managing yourself right, is by taking cognizance of your inner power, of your personal energy. If you know that you can up your energy on demand to meet these circumstances, then you know that you shielded. And this shielding is something that you can perceive, you can actually feel it almost physically when you start learning about concepts of Qigong. Now, Qigong is two words. Qi is life force energy, and Gang is to work with it. And this is your short Mandarin lesson. So, as a practitioner of Qigong, what you do is you work with energy. And when you're working with energy, what happens? You find that you're communing with the energy of the universe, which always stands for your benefit, which always stands for abundance. And that communing goes right down into you, into your channels. Now, these channels were stuff that was discovered 4,000-5,000 years ago by meditators. And of the Orient, they call them meridians, they call them channels, they call them nadis in Sanskrit. And those are the acupuncture points that you may have heard of. When you're able to energize these channels, and when you're able to build your reservoirs of internal energy, you never go bust. In fact, you come into a greater awareness, and then because your insides are clean, you're also less contaminated. In fact, you cleanse whatever remnants of contamination you might have, which progressively could lead to disease. So you stay healthier, you stay more in harmony, and you get a lot more productive. Now, why productive? Because when you are communing with universal energy, what's happening on a physical plane is that you are harmonizing your respiration, your breathing, your movements, and your energy. So let's take an example here. If you're writing a document and your respiration, or let's say your energy first is into something else, not exactly in the document, into a meeting, right? He's going to say that, I'm going to say that, stuff like that happens. What happens, you'll discover, is that you start breathing shallow. Now, if you're breathing shallow, what's happening is you are gaining stress. You're not breathing like a baby. You're, I've got to finish this, I've got to finish this. And when that's happening, then your body moves differently. So your respiration, movements, and energy go out of sync. Now, that leads to stress. That leads to the health part. But when you work with Qigong and you make habits of practicing Qigong on a daily basis, you bring respiration, movements, and energy together. And when that becomes a habit of coming together, naturally you type a document without stress. You bring everything together because you've got the trick to how to bring it together. So that's the number one secret of combating stress, of managing stress, of reducing stress, by knowing that you have that inner power and you have a way of developing those habits of Qigong to bring them together. Now, the only thing is, how do you learn Qigong? So you could learn that online. I do classes. We can actually invite you to a free immunity building session, because immunity is so very important these days. So just WhatsApp me and let's get you started on 30 minutes for you and your family of how to connect with this energy. You're going to feel it yourself, and we take it forward from there. How does that sound?